Hello, basketball coaches and basketball players. My name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training. Today I'm going to talk to you about some 3-on-3 motion basketball drills. Now, motion basketball drills are great to teach individual players and even teams on how you can move on the court. I like to use these with younger teams or a beginner team at the older age, or even if you just want to basically talk to your team and explain to your team how you would like them to move on the court. These are great drills to run. And you can run these if you run a 3-on-3 team or if you run an actual 5-on-5 team. So let's get down to the clipboard and let's check these out. Okay, so first there's three types of motions three types of things that you can do as a player as soon as you get rid of that ball. The worst thing I see players do is when they pass and they don't move. They just kind of stand there and do nothing. What we want to see is a pass, and then after they pass, they do one of a few things. They can either go and screen for, they can cut towards the rim, or they can screen away. Those are the three things that a player can do on offense after they pass the ball. We don't want them to stay stagnant. That's just not going to do anything for them or the team. So what I like to do is have my team at first just do pass and screen for. That way that they're getting ready and used to one thing. So they screen. Player 2 uses that screen. He goes back up to this area. If you want, you can even set up different pylons at the individual areas that you want them to be at. And player 1 would then roll towards the basket. Now, because player 2 left his area, of course, we're not going to be worrying about shooting or anything right now. We could pass to player 1 if we have it set up to do that. But personally, I have them run through this a few times before we try and score. So player 1 then moves back out and he fills the empty spot that is on the court. Now, this is not just teaching the offensive players what to do. This is also teaching the defensive players what to do as well. Because now, with the ball being passed over to player 1 as an example, player 3 should be not just one pass away, but now 2 passes away, which is roughly 1 large step and 2 large steps away. And then, again, screen 4. Uses screen, rolls towards the basket, fills out. Very simple, very easy. Now, once the ball gets back over here, player 3 is back to being 1 step away, same as player 2. And then once player 1 passes to player 3, same idea. Player 2 moves to 2 big steps away, and player 3 uses that screen. Now, once they've gotten used to this, player 2 should still be over there because player 3 has the ball. Once they've gotten used to this, they can now go and set up with pass and cut and pass and screen away. And again, same idea. So if they cut, what we want to see, just like any motion offense in a game, player 3, he can't be staying still for too long. So he needs to now move up towards the point because that's an empty spot on the court. And player 1 is going to then fill out to that empty spot in the court there. Now, notice how I have these players set up. Player 1 is 2 steps away, player 3 is 1 step away, and player 2 is ball on or on ball. So all 3 of these plays are actually really good to use for a 3-on-3 team. So if you coach a 3-on-3 basketball team, all of these plays that I just showed you as drills can actually work for your team as well, not just in practice, but also in game as well. Now, you're probably wondering, why do I have these guys in a triangle? I may not run a triangle offense. However, you're probably running at least some point in the time and running plays, you're running either an overload or you're running a 3-out 2-in, something like that, where players might actually make a triangle on the court. This could be even ran up top and have 2 post players. I'll show you that one in a few minutes. However, right now we're focusing on the triangle. So what we're going to have here is if player 2 passes over to player 3, what's going to happen is player 2 is now going to cut towards the rim, and he's going to then fill back out because we're practicing that same thing as what we had earlier with the 3 players. However, personally, if we're not just starting off at first, I might as well just teach my player, once they pass, they might as well go down, set a screen for player 1. I'm trying to make a line. These players are not working. There we go. And player 1 is going to pop out. Now, what's going to happen is player 2 will now be low post if player 3 passes out. what I want to see is either a cut towards the rim, which is using player 2 as a screen, or we could have player 3 set a pin down screen for player 2, or what we could have also is player 3 screening away for player 1. Now, if player 3 screens away for player 1, what's going to happen is now we're going to have player 3 roll towards the basket, and he could even set a screen for player 2 who can then pop out. And we can just keep on adding on motions over and over and over again so that the ball never rests, players never rest, and they keep on cycling through over and over again just like they would in a real game. Now, if you run a 3-out, 2-in motion offense, or just a 3-out, 2-in offense in general, what you could run here is the same idea, but as a motion in practice. Again, teaching your players how to move on and off ball. So player 1 can pass to player 2, player 1 can go down screen away for player 3, and you can pop up, or what could happen is if player 1 passes to player 2, he could go and ask for a screen. He can put his hand up, ask for a screen. That'll be a dribble handoff with player 1. He'll then drive towards the basket, and obviously if you're allowing your team to score, he could score. Or fight through the screen, player 1 stops, player 2 goes up and fills that spot, and now player 1 is in the low post and he may not have anyone to really pass to. So now, I like this one because now I'm teaching my players who are not currently having the ball to move off ball. So now we need to have player 3 screen up. Player 2 is going to use that screen. He's going to then cut down. So player 3 is setting that screen. Player 2 is cutting down. Now, if you're allowing your team to score at this point, they could. Or player 2 will stop in the low post. Player 2 will get that ball. And now player 3 will then pop out. And now what we're going to need to have is either player 1 setting a screen up for player 3, or player 3 setting a screen down for player 1. Again, getting open for a shot. And these are all different motions that would work in game as well. So try to keep that in mind. And you can even create new different orientations of this drill as well. So you could have one player in the high post, one player in the low post, and we can have the same exact idea where pass player 3 the ball. Player 1 needs to do something. He can go and set a screen down for player 2. Player 2 pops up. He could take that shot. However, what we want to see now is, let's say nobody's open. What I want to see now is player 3 maybe setting a screen down for player 1. Player 1 using that screen going to the high post for a possible shot. And you have to keep on having your players cycle through and making it so that they're not just moving on ball, they're also moving off ball, because when they're moving off ball, it makes the game go a lot faster and helps players get open so that they can score a lot easier. Now, I hope that these drills and these plays, if you run 3-on-3, can help you win the game a lot easier. And I hope that these drills for 5-on-5 teams can help your team move without and with the ball a lot easier so that there's more motion in the game. Because even if you're running a set offense, like a Horns set offense, what you can do now is still have that set Horns offense, but now they're understanding the fact that, somebody's stuck, or, I've been standing here for 3 or 4 seconds. I need to go screen for somebody so I can get somebody else open or get myself open as well. So these are great skills to learn for teams and for players so that they can score a lot easier. I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe. I'll see you guys again later on today for the second video of the day.